What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hope y'all are doing well. Happy what is it? What is today? Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, guys. Happy Wednesday. Hope y'all are doing awesome. Guys, I figured it would be a good day. I think I may do this every Wednesday to just do a midweek check-in. Um, as you guys have probably noticed, the last 2 days I have put out a video in the morning that just sort of recaps the day before and the games and whatnot. And I think I'll keep doing that. I think it's been kind of fun-ish. It's a lot of work, but like fun-ish to do. So you all can kind of expect the recaps. And like who knows, maybe I'll actually like really be able to do this every single day where like I did day 1, day 2. Tomorrow I'm going to put out day 3 recap. So the hope is to do this every single day and to like literally get to like over 100 days of literally every single morning recapping the previous day's stuff. Who knows how long we'll be able to continue this, but I'm going to try to keep it as long as possible. Mainly because I think it'd be fun to actually like go back at the end of the season and look back and check out all the stuff that happened over the year. And so that's something that I'm going to do on this channel. And I figured because of that, that's going to lessen the amount of live streams I do, right? So I was like, okay, maybe if I start live streams on Wednesday and I just say Wednesday weekly check-in, just to check in and talk about what's going on, talk about some stuff that I don't have an opportunity to talk about in the recaps. So yeah, that's the idea. You know, your feedback would be very much appreciated. Do you all even like the recap videos that I've done so far? Again, I've just only done 2 so far, but do you all like that? Is that like a good strategy going forward? And then the idea of a Wednesday sort of gathering of the minds as we sort of talk about women's basketball. What do y'all think about that? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Okay. So in this stream, I want to do 2 things. I want to give you all an update about what's happening with Ashlyn Watkins, because we do have an update on that front. And also, I got to talk about Deja Kelly, because, y'all, Deja Kelly, she doing it all. She doing it all. She transferred from North Carolina, and she making it happen at Oregon, both on the court and on the sideline. So we're gonna talk about that as well. Also, guys, if there's anything else y'all want to talk about, we can get into it. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. What's up, JB? What's up, man? What's up? Kentucky says yes on the recaps. Okay. All right. So the recaps are a hit, I guess. All right. So I'll keep those up. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. I've had this sweatshirt for, I don't know, sweater, I should say, for years and years and years and years and years. I love winter and fall weather. I love it. I love wearing sweaters every day and sweatshirts. Love it. Give me a sweater over a t-shirt any day. Love it. Which is probably why I'll never move to a like very, very warm climate. I don't think I ever will. Anyway, guys, let's get into and as y'all are joining in, if y'all could please do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Guys, let's get into the first topic, which is going to be all about Ashlyn Watkins. Ashlyn Watkins is with the South Carolina Gamecocks and is likely going to be their starting center once she starts playing for the team this year. She has been away from the team, and I want to update you all on the situation as to what happened. So, guys, if you all were not aware, my graphic went away. Darn. Hold on, guys. I made graphics and then I don't know what happened to it. Okay. All right. Let's talk about Ashlyn Watkins. So, if you all do not know the story, back a couple months ago, in August, Ashlyn, we saw a news story that said that Ashlyn Watkins was arrested and charged. As we looked into it, it turns out that she ended up facing assault and battery and kidnapping charges. It was a dispute that she had on campus. And a thing to note is that the university looked into the matter, and what they said at the time is they weren't going to release the name of the person who it was like the victim, I should say, but they did say that Ashlyn grabbed the victim, and yeah, it wasn't a good story. So basically, guys, I kind of put the main details on here. She was charged with assault and battery and kidnapping. The reason for that is that they said at the time that she forcibly grabbed the face of the victim, pulling the victim by the arms and pushing. And again, allegedly, I don't know if any of this is true, but allegedly at the time, this is what was said. And there was the warrant for Ashlyn Watkins actually said that Ashlyn grabbed the victim's head and forced her to walk down the hall, thus controlling her movement while preventing her from leaving. So that was the idea with the kidnapping charge, where Ashlyn allegedly was forcing the victim or moving the victim to a certain direction. So that's called kidnapping, and so that's why they charged Ashlyn with assault and battery for the forcibly grabbing the face, and kidnapping for controlling the person's movement. Allegedly. All right. And so the idea was that, she was charged, and Ashlyn was given a $30,000 personal recognizance bond. She was able to go back to school and go to classes. However, she was ordered not to have any direct or indirect contact with the victim. Had a court date and whatnot, and now we do have a resolution to the situation. So the situation has been resolved. The charges were dismissed as of November the 1st. A couple things to note here about the charges being dismissed is that when, what am I trying to say? Ashlyn Watkins ended up getting her situation dismissed because she completed a pretrial intervention. All right. And so South Carolina has a program where you can go through this intervention after you've been charged with your first issue. You go through that, and then you get your charges dismissed. She did that, and now her charges have been dismissed. So yeah, that's something to know. I just wanted to let you all know the fact that has happened. Definitely a thing where it's sort of like, it doesn't necessarily mean that Ashlyn was if was found innocent. According to the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's office website, which is like the venue where her charges, like where this was all happening at. The program that Ashlyn took part in is for first-time offenders charged with non-violent crimes. All right. And assault in the first degree, which is what she was charged with, is not is something that falls within this. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. Again, she was charged with kidnapping because she controlled the movement of the person, preventing the person from leaving. So yeah, if you prevent someone from movement, that technically is called kidnapping. You know, you all can get into semantics here, but like, yeah, that's technically what it's called. But anyway, that's the news. Charges have been dropped because Ashlyn participated in this program, this pretrial intervention program. Charges dropped. She was suspended by the team. Now, this is per South Carolina rules. If you are under investigation of a crime, you're going to get suspended. It's an automatic thing. And because the charges were dropped, it was announced earlier today that her suspension has been lifted from the team, and Ashlyn Watkins is able to go back to practice. All right. So Ashlyn is able to go back to practice, and so yeah. And this is something that is very helpful for South Carolina in terms of just the basketball of it all. Let's go back to the basketball. So I sort of talked about, the legal stuff that Ashlyn was facing. That's now over because, charges have been dropped. Now Ashlyn is able to return to the squad. And so that's huge for South Carolina. The reason why that's huge is because South Carolina really does need Ashlyn Watkins. Ashlyn Watkins last year, she did start some games, but Ashlyn Watkins is a fantastic post player. She's likely going to play the starting 5 role because since Camila Cardoso is out, it's going to be likely her and Chloe Kitts in the starting lineup. This is huge for South Carolina because we saw in the first game that South Carolina had. Sure, they won against Michigan, but it was a very, very close game. And it was clear that this team needs another post. South Carolina has been a post-heavy team for a long while. They had Asia Wilson, then they had Aaliyah Boston, then they had Camila Cardoso, now they have Ashlyn Watkins, right? And they need Ashlyn to really dominate. They do have Chloe Kitts. Chloe Kitts is awesome. This is a team that thrives on their post play. For that first game against Michigan, we saw the guards struggle. We saw the guards struggle big time without Tessa Johnson was fantastic, and Tessa Johnson needs to be in the starting lineup. I'm just saying, hopefully we will see her in the starting lineup. I think she absolutely deserves to be in the starting lineup. In that game against Michigan, she had 15 points. I thought she was the spark really for this team. From a guard perspective, I should say. Chloe Kitts absolutely did her thing, but Sanaya Fagan, she not that. Sanaya Fagan is not a starter for this team. She's not a starter for this team. Sanaya Fagan's a good player, not a starter at all. I think if it comes down to it, if Ashlyn Watkins has to miss another game, guys, Joyce Edwards is starting instead of Sanaya Fagan, likely. Okay. Because in that game against Michigan, it was Chloe Kitts, Tessa Johnson, and Joyce Edwards. Those were the three players that impressed me. I thought they did well. Specifically Chloe Kitts. I was like, heck yeah, Chloe Kitts. Let's go. I thought she played really, really well. Sanaya Fagan, not a starter. Definitely not likely that we will see her starting for this team in the future, this year at least. Ashlyn Watkins, that starting role is hers when she gets back. Now the question is, she's returned to practice. She's able to go to practice now. But the question is, when will we see Ashlyn actually suit up and play for South Carolina? And that is a question that we actually don't know yet. The next game for South Carolina is actually this Sunday. So on Sunday, they do play NC State, which is a, pretty critical rivalry type game, right? South Carolina versus North Carolina State. And that's going to be a huge one. And so it would behoove South Carolina to have Ashlyn play in that game. But yeah, if she doesn't, Joyce Edwards better get the start. I'm just saying. Joyce Edwards better get the start. But I think it's likely that we will see Ashlyn Watkins play on Sunday for South Carolina. But yeah, so she's back. She's back with the team. Her suspension has been lifted because her charges have been dismissed. So yeah, that's the news. I just wanted to let you all know what's going on. So that's the news. That's the news. Do y'all think that Ashlyn Watkins will be back on Sunday? I think she will be. I think she'll be back. Because they need her to be back. they need her to be back. So I think she will be back. What do y'all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. D wants Ashlyn to play immediately. Row 2 says, I think South Carolina will be okay as the season continues. Just one game. I mean, yes, just one game. Yeah. I mean, this is while they looked suspect, in my opinion, in game one, it is just game one. So it's not like the worst thing in the world. However, you peep game and you make adjustments. And I think an adjustment that Don Staley will make is, if Ashlyn Watkins is not available, you're not starting Sanaya Fagan. You're starting Joyce Edwards, right? And you're gonna ride that out, right? It's the adjustment is Tessa Johnson. Somebody needs to go on the bench, and Tessa probably needs to start, right? So like there are some adjustments that I do think has to be made, right? William says, how can they be struggling with the at the guard on the bench? Uh-oh. And Tessa probably. Okay. William says, how can they be struggling at the guard position with somebody like Malaysia Fulwiley? I mean, Malaysia's fantastic. Malaysia's a really good player. However, one, Malaysia didn't have that great of a game against Michigan. Two, she's not likely going to start for this team this year. Because guys, like remember, like the starting lineup for the guards perspective is the same as last year, right? You got Raven Johnson, you got Tahina Powpow, and you got Bree Hall. That's who you got as your starting guards. And I don't see Malaysia Fulwiley being added to the starting lineup. Now, is Malaysia a starter on any other team in the country? Heck yes. Absolutely. And she is someone that can be balling. Absolutely balling. But I think that, you know, Tessa Johnson, to me, is the starter of the two. Tessa Johnson is the starter right now for South Carolina. And as time goes on, of course, next year for sure, my Lady Fulwiley will be starting. But also, yeah. Also, South Carolina just got to get in the rhythm of shooting. That's all. The problem is, William, the problem that I see with South Carolina is that on that first game, they didn't have the safety of the post that they used to, right? These are players who are used to playing with Aaliyah Boston, with Camila Cardoso, with somebody who, if push comes to shove, everything falls apart. You can run your game through the post. And in that game against Michigan, the game was run through the guards. That was the game plan, it seemed, was to run it through the guards because you did not have Ashlyn or Camila. Well, you ain't gonna have Camila because she in the WNBA. But like, you need the point was to run through the guards, and it was clear, at least in that game, at least in the Michigan game, that the guards could not make it happen. At least the starting guards could not make it happen. Now, yes, bad shooting night, absolutely bad shooting night, but it's not like these are like, it's not like I mean, Tahina Paopao is the best 3-point shooter in college basketball, in my opinion. But Raven Johnson is not a consistent shooter. She's trying to get there. She's absolutely trying. But she's not a consistent shooter, right? It's mainly just Tahina Paopao who can just light it up and shoot. Bree Hall, sure, Bree Hall can, she can shoot. But is Bree Hall a sort of consistently knocked down 3-point shooter? She can get 3-point shots off, but not really, right? And so it really was just Tahina Paopao, and if the guards, who you're incredibly counting on this year because you don't have the post dominance that you used to, if the guards are having an off night, you're gonna struggle a little bit. You're gonna struggle a little bit, which is why I really do think that Tessa Johnson needs to be added to the starting lineup. I really do. Because 1, she's lightning in a bottle. 2, she's a better shooter. So go. That's my thought there. Will this happen? I don't know. We'll see. But I think she's earned it. I think she's earned a starting nod. I really do. If y'all didn't know, the reason why I think she's earned it is not just, sure, she had a good game against Michigan. She did. She sure did. She shot 50% from the field. She had a good game. However, guys, it was also the shooting that she did last year that just even more makes me think that that she should be starting. Because last year she shot what, like 40-something% from the 3 last year? Like 43% or something like that from the 3? Like, that, she should be starting, especially if your other guards can't really, really get it going, That's that. I would be interested to see Dawn try it. I really would. I think you're not really going to hit any real downsides to starting Tessa Johnson. Like, I'm actually pretty big on that. I think that Art Dog says, who would you start? You start Tessa, who would you sit? I would sit Bree Hall. Yeah. because you cannot sit Tahina Pow. Like, you just can't. Like, she's too much of an offensive threat from a shooting perspective. You cannot sit Raven Johnson because she's your PG for the most part. I would say Bree Hall and Tahina moves to the 3. That's what I would probably say. That's what I would say. And then you got Chloe at the 4, Ashlyn at the 5. Sanaya Fagan comes off the bench. I think that's a good. I think that's a real good starting lineup. I'm just saying that's a real good starting lineup. And Bree Hall comes right off the bench as like the 6th man or something like that. Like her and Malaysia Fulwiley. I'm just saying, like, South Carolina has an extremely talented team. Extremely talented. It's just about, like, just at the margins making slight changes, because this team is fire. Like, this team is likely gonna make it into a very, very deep tournament run. Likely going to the finals again. Oh yeah, for sure. E4. I'm starting Ashlyn for sure. So in my head, the ideal lineup for South Carolina with the current players that exist is Raven Johnson at the 1, Tessa Johnson at the 2, Tahina Pow at the 3, Chloe Kitts at the 4, Ashlyn Watkins at the 5. That's my opinion on that. And actually, maybe I actually can't even remember their heights. So whoever's taller between Tahina and Tessa would be the 3. That, to me, that's my starting lineup. Bree Hall is fan-freaking-tastic. This is not like a thing where I'm like, oh, Bree Hall is not that good of a player, and that's why I would put her on the bench. No, it's just, I think that Tessa has more to offer as a starter right off the bat, because you need more guard scoring in games. Like, you don't have the extreme post depth that you used to. You're likely not gonna play inside out as much as you did last year this year. Like, you're not gonna do it as much. And so you need players who right off the get-go shoot and can get in their flow state and start to score. So that's why I say Tessa over Bree. But this is not like Bree is trash. No, Bree Hall is a fantastic player. Fantastic. The fact that, yeah, William, the fact that Malaysia Fulwiley's coming off the bench is wild. And again, any other team, Bree Hall is starting. Tessa Johnson is starting. Malaysia Fulwiley is starting. Pick another team in the country. They're starting. Besides likely UConn. They wouldn't start at UConn. But, like, other than that, they're starting. And so this is one of those things where, like, somebody has to come off the bench. There's only five starting spots. That's it. Okay? Somebody has to come off the bench. Somebody. So that's my thoughts on that. All right. I do want to get to some of y'all comments. I mean, Phil, facts. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. JB says Tessa Johnson and Pow on the perimeter together would be lethal 3-point combo. However, I feel like you're sacrificing Bree's defense a little bit for Tessa's offense. Yes. Yeah. Bree Hall is definitely in my opinion, a better defender than Tessa Johnson. I think most people would agree with that. But also Tessa Johnson is not a slouch when it comes to defense. She's not a slouch. And I think the offensive firepower that Tessa brings outweighs the defense as a starter. Now, this is not me saying that, Bree, absolutely Bree Hall needs to be coming off that bench and playing right away and locking players down, right? So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, Bree Hall does have really good defense. Her and Raven Johnson have really good defense. RC, what up? Says, Quita, if they take my Chloe out the starting lineup, I'm gonna be no more. Wait, I'm not gonna watch them. Joking, but they bet not. RC, nobody is talking about benching Chloe. Like I don't know of anybody who is saying bench Chloe. I think that would make no sense. Chloe Kiss is a starter for the entire year. Yeah, she's a starter for the entire year. Like she not coming off the bench. If she does, I'm shocked. Cause who you gonna start? Who you gonna start with Ashlyn? If you look like Joyce Edwards is great, but no. Chloe Kitts, yes, is the starter alongside Ashlyn Watkins. Like I don't see that changing unless one of them get hurt. Unless one of them get hurt, it's not changing. Yeah, Chloe is nah. Ain't nobody talking about benching Chloe. And if you are, I think you suspect. I think you suspect and you're not watching games. If you didn't see the way Chloe played last year and the way Chloe's played this year, yeah. For that Michigan game, Chloe was fantastic. Yeah, nah, she ain't getting benched. Nah, that would be wild. That would be absolutely wild if she got benched. That's not happening. All right. What's up, Frank? What's up? So Frank is asking y'all to hit that like button. If y'all could, please do myself and Frank a favor and hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Now, guys, I do want to move to the next story. And I think it's a pretty fun story, I would say. Deja Kelly, the former North Carolina Tar Heel, basically the queen of North Carolina, she made the decision to transfer. Deja Kelly wound up transferring over to Oregon to finish out her college career. And guys, not only is she, playing with the team, she also is trying to jumpstart her new career. Now, guys, if y'all don't know about Deja Kelly, yeah, she really has been the main focus at North Carolina for a long while until she decided to leave. But she ended up transferring again to Oregon, and now she has two roles. One is, of course, on the basketball team, where she is a starter for the team. But also, she now has a new gig where she's actually a sideline reporter. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So on November the 4th, Oregon had two games, right? They had a women's game, and then after the women's game, the men played. Deja Kelly, with the women's game was earlier, so Deja Kelly played in the women's game. She did not have offensively or scoring wise the best night, but she did really well in the game. She finished with 10 points. Again, did not shoot that efficiently. Ended up going 3 of 10 from the field. She had a whopping 8 assists, 7 rebounds. So almost a triple-double for Deja Kelly. Ultimately, they play against California Baptist, so it's not the biggest of competitions. But, they win the game. They win the game. Game over. It ends. The men are getting ready to play. Deja Kelly goes to the locker room, gets herself together, puts on a dress, grabs a microphone, and goes to the sideline to become the sideline reporter for the men's game. And guys, I just have to say, what a fantastic decision by Deja Kelly. Guys, how smart is it? How smart is it? She wants to get into media. Deja Kelly wants to be in media. She likes the idea of, sports commentators, sports reporters, that type of thing. And so what does she do? She talks to her school and says, hey, can we work something out? I think I can do this sideline reporting thing while also doing the main thing that I'm here for, is to play on the women's basketball team and get us some dubs, right? I can be the starting point guard for the Oregon Ducks for the women and then be the sideline reporter. She was the broadcast was on Big Ten Plus. It was not on regular Big Ten. It was on Big Ten Plus. A thing to note, guys, is Big Ten Plus is a separate subscription. It's a separate subscription, guys. So that's something to note. So if you're like, ooh, I want to watch some Oregon men's games so I can watch Deja Kelly do her thing as a sideline reporter, you need to have Big Ten Plus. If the game is on Big Ten Plus, it's most likely going to be on Big Ten Plus. A good amount of the Oregon games are on Big Ten Plus, so that's something to note. But I saw a clip of her interviewing one of the players, and I thought she did a good job. So like I just wanted to like add her in this video to just really just say, I think it's awesome that players are really seeing, they're really starting to see themselves more in sports media. Like you think about it, how we have like, Candace Parker, we got, Chinea Gumake, other sort of people, Renee Montgomery, so many people, so many players who are getting a microphone and making stuff happen, right? They're becoming sports commentators, not just for women, but for the men's game as well. And I think it's fantastic for Deja to recognize, y'all, I kind of want to do this. I want to do this at the end of my career. I want or not even the end of my career. I want to do this in general, right? So why not ask? Can I make this happen? When she was asked about it, she actually talked about it a little bit, and I want to show this article clipping because guys, I believe it was over the summer. I believe I ended up seeing a post from Deja Kelly when she was shadowing Andrea Carter. So Andrea Carter, if y'all don't know, she's a women's basketball analyst. She does a really good job at it. And Deja Kelly ended up shadowing her for a day just to see what she does, just to see about her job, like what does she do, how she does it, that type of vibe. And I thought it was pretty awesome that she was even like, you know what? Yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to shadow someone who's doing it. and just really see what it's all about, She attended the Paris Olympics, which I actually didn't know. But she said, whenever people ask me for advice or whatever it is, I try to tell them, do not put all of your eggs in one basket. Anything can happen at any time. So it's good to branch out and meet new people, network, build a foundation, or whatever else it is, even if it's still through basketball. Whether you want to do something still involved with the sport, I think it's still good to network and build those relationships outside of just playing and practice every day. And the reason why, at least according to this article, the reason why is that she transferred is because she wanted to take part in Oregon's broadcast journalism program. And I think that's fantastic. Like, who knows if Deja Kelly's going to play in the WNBA? And even if she does, who knows how long she'll play in the WNBA or how long she'll want to do it. And so why not? If you have an interest in broadcast journalism, why not go out there and shadow Andrea Carter? Shadow her, see what she's doing. See how she is so good at what she does. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of studying and whatnot that she does before and after games to really make sure her analysis is all good to go, right? There's probably a lot of stuff that she does. So like shadowing a person like that to see how she gets her game on point, to asking your school for this type of opportunity to be a sideline reporter for the Big Ten for Oregon games. I think it's smart. Because who knows when the basketball is going to stop bouncing for you. You can have an injury. You could just not make the team. You could just not be good enough. Or you could be good enough. You could make the team and just be like, actually, I'm done. Actually, I'm good. Like Chiney Gumake did. Chiney was like, okay, I'm good. And now she doesn't play and commentate anymore. Now she just commentates, right? You never know. So I wanted to just talk about this to say, shout out to Deja Kelly. Because y'all, she doing both. She balling on the court and going to that sideline, picking up a mic and talking. I think it's great. I think we'll probably, as time goes on, we'll probably see more players do this, especially on the women's side. We'll probably see a lot more of them do it. Ariel says, I agree, your career can end at any time. You have to have a plan B or something else to fall on that you love. Facts, Ariel. Facts. I agree. Yeah. I agree. TG with the soda says Andrea is a very good commentator. She is. Yeah. I think Andrea Carter is really, 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 really good at what she does. Really, really good. FM says I can see Deja on TV. She has the looks. Yeah, she has the like overall vibes for being a good broadcaster. So like, yeah. Let's see. Road 2 says, when Aaliyah Boston was a part of the Final Four analysis last season, I was impressed. Yeah, guys, Aaliyah Boston, she worked with the Big Ten all last year. And initially when she started working for the Big Ten, like she was, little bumps in the road. Like she didn't seem as comfortable. But as the season went on last year, she got real comfortable and she got real good. So, same with Deja Kelly. Like she seemed a bit nervous during her first broadcast, but I thought she did good. And as the season goes on, she's going to get better and better and better and better and better. And who knows? Maybe in the next couple of years, we'll see Deja Kelly on the sideline. Eventually, Holly Rowe's gonna retire. Eventually, and maybe we'll see Deja Kelly or somebody like that, or another current player on the sideline, kind of making stuff happen. Or maybe you'll see someone who's not a current, who's not a player. Yeah. I just want to talk about it mainly because I have an interest overall in this, and I was like, heck yeah, man! Like if I wasn't if I was at a university and I had the opportunity to do something like this, I would totally do it. Right? Totally do it. Row 2 says, Quita, these players of today are just different, as they say. They are thinking ahead career-wise, and I'm all for that. Facts. You got to do it. Yeah, you got to do it. FM says, smart move, Deja, get those TV reps. Yeah. And guys, if she can get all these reps on Big Ten Plus, a network or expansion of a network that no one really watches, for men's college games, it's not, the stakes are very low as to what she's doing now, and so she can get all the reps she needs. She can get all the reps. She can get really, really good at it. Know how to okay, time is winding down, and you have about a minute to do an interview and cut to commercial break. How do you do that? How do you time that out? There's a lot of reps that stuff involves, that stuff takes, right? And the various questions that you ask, what type of questions do you ask? At what moments? And maybe you have 5 questions in your head, and you gotta quickly come up with something that could be soundbitey, that the person can succinctly answer the question, and then you can move on, right? There's a lot of reps that you probably need to take to get good at that, and it's fantastic for her to be getting these reps in college. And then when she graduates, maybe she goes to the WNBA, maybe she doesn't. But she would have had months and months and months of being a sideline reporter, and she could just walk right in and have an advantage over the rest of the competition, over the rest of the broadcast journalist majors that are looking for jobs, right? She'll be like, well, I have I got 6 months experience on Big Ten Plus. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. So I'm just saying. WK, I don't know if she retires soon, but I'm saying eventually she's gonna retire. Phil G says Andrea and Chanae, just need Candace Parker, and they will be just as good as the TNT crew, just female version. So here's the thing, guys. Unrivaled is now partly owned by TNT. TNT has invested in Unrivaled, and what that means is that we'll see the games on Unrivaled. That's what we'll see. We'll see the games on Unrivaled, and I believe I'm actually working on a video about it. TNT is making a huge play on women's sports. A huge play. They're airing what seems like more women's soccer games than ever before. They are now airing college games, women's college games. This is the second year that they air the sort of season tip-off in Vegas. This second time that they've done that. We also see them investing in Unrivaled. I really do believe that they are going to create something similar. I believe that they're going to create something similar to the Thursday night TNT stuff. I really do. I think they're going to create something similar related to Unrivaled. And that's going to be their next big thing. Because again, guys, TNT will not have the NBA next year. This is the last year. This is the last year that TNT will have TNT Sports will have the NBA because it's going to Amazon next year. And for TNT, they're trying to stake out what the future is, because they have a similar thing to like the Kenny, Ernie, Shaq. They have a similar thing for NHL, National Hockey League. They have a similar thing for the National Hockey League, where it's like they're at the desk and they have like this banter back and forth. I don't think it's as good as the NBA version, but the NHL version is really good. I watch the NHL, so I see TNT's broadcast sometimes, and I think it's really good. Now I do believe that they are looking to create something similar on the women's basketball side. I really do. They already have Candace Parker in the fold already, right? So it makes the most obvious sense to have her. Renee Montgomery has been doing, I think, the last 2 years. She definitely did it this year. I believe she did it last year as well. The Vegas game and sort of covering of that. So they have some talent in-house already that can cover the women's game. I think it's just about rounding that thing out, making it funny, and rolling with it. That's the thing. The reason why everybody likes Chuck, Shaq, Ernie, Kenny, the reason why people like them, not only do they know basketball, but they're funny. I think the key is, if TNT really wants to do this, you have to be funny. Not just bring the expert analysis, but you actually have to be entertaining too. And I think that's something that has been established, cultivated on the men's side, not as much on the women's side. We have the analysis. It's funny moments on ESPN every now and then, but it's more like serious, I would say. Whereas TNT, at least when I be watching for the NBA, it's Shaq saying something stupid and them making fun of each other. Like it's like dumb stuff, but then also great analysis, right? It's an interesting mix, and I think TNT can do it, absolutely. I think you just have to get the right pieces to actually make that happen. Lindy says, Quita, this doesn't make any sense to me. The arena only has had 850 seats to make money. Those are going to be expensive tickets. Caitlin Clark is not going to play because fans won't be able to go to games. I think you're talking about Unrivaled. All the details have not been released for Unrivaled yet. But I am likely going to make an update video. Like a couple months ago, I made like a massive, like everything you need to know about Unrivaled. Things have changed, and so I may make another version of that. But for sure, we will see Caitlin give this heavy consideration. Like she actually is thinking about going to Unrivaled. I think she will go to Unrivaled. I think that's why they expanded the rosters. They expanded the roster for Unrivaled. I think she's coming. I really do. Rasa says TNT is boring, but that can change. You think like the NBA TNT guys are boring? I don't think they're boring. I don't. You think Kenny, Charles, Shaq, Ernie, you think they boring? I don't think they're boring. I don't think. Sure, the other sports programming is kind of boring. I'll be, totally transparent. But the NBA stuff, oh, they're fun. I find them fun, at least. I find them fun. Well, again, my favorites on TNT, again, Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, Charles. That's my favorite right there. But yeah, that's it. I just want to talk about that. But guys, we've been going 55 minutes. Okay, that's quite a bit. That's it's quite a bit of time. So I think we're gonna pause it here. TW said I think Candace looks nervous on TNT. I don't know. She doesn't seem nervous to me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she doesn't seem nervous to me though. I think the Unrivaled crew should be all women. Yeah, I think it should be all women. No offense to the dudes, but I think it should be all women. And also, anybody playing any sport or even just walking down the street can get injured at any time. So, like, who knows? Who knows? Maybe players will get injured. Maybe they won't. Yeah, you don't know. No one knows. No one knows. All right, that's the stream. I need to end it so I can actually finish watching some of these games. There's a lot of games on today. So yeah, I gotta finish watching all this stuff so I can have another recap for y'all tomorrow. Guys, I thank you so much for rocking with me. Guys, if you could do me, Kelsey, I think Sue could actually do a good job. I think Sue could be good at it. But again, be funny. I actually think I would actually probably prefer Diana Taurasi because I think Diana Taurasi is a little bit more funnier. Like she says whatever and it's funny. People can get mad, but it's funny. But yeah, Sue too. But I would definitely say Diana Taurasi. Yeah, for sure. Though she is going for likely one more year. Video coming out about that soon. But yeah. What was I about to say? Oh. Guys, if y'all could do me a huge favor, I think the new plan for this channel is to do those daily videos. So guys, if y'all have noticed, I put out day 1 recap, put out a day 2 recap. There is no like sports center for women's basketball, right? There is no sports center for women's basketball that goes over the previous day's games and what happened and whatnot. It doesn't exist. And yes, there are some people who talk about it on Twitter and whatnot, but it's text-based. It's not crazy thorough at times, though, and so what I am trying to do is basically create a shortened version of Sports Center for women's college basketball every day, where I'm recapping the previous day's games. Now, here's the thing. Day 1 was long because I wanted to go really in depth about certain games, and I talked a long time. That took way too, like, it's not the watching of games that's the issue. It's the succinctly putting my thoughts together to make it happen. And so, like, that day 1 took way too long. Day 2, which was today that I put out this morning, that was actually way better of a flow, I would say. And so it's going to be a shorter, right? So what I'm looking to do is sort of make those videos every single day. That's around the 20-ish minute mark at the max, where we literally go through and talk about some of the games that happen. And guys, I know there's a lot of games that are happening all the time. Not everybody can watch all the games. I'm obsessed with basketball, women's basketball in particular. I don't really watch shows. I watch basketball. While y'all are watching the news, I'm watching basketball. While y'all are watching, a random sitcom or something, I'm watching basketball. That's what I'm doing. So like, since I watch it all, I might as well just talk about it and make some succinct videos. So that's the goal every single day, to make a new video, put it out every single morning. But the thing is, if I could ask y'all to please do me a couple favors, please, please, please. If you all could, please just watch those videos. Because I'm going to be covering teams every single day, and with the recaps, I'm going to cover. There's going to be days where I'm going to be covering games that you're like, I don't know any of these people. I don't know any of these people. I don't know any of these teams. None of these teams are top 25. They don't matter, and yada yada yada. If I could ask y'all, if I could ask y'all to please, 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 still watch the videos. All right. Still watch the videos, even if y'all don't recognize some of these teams, right? If I'm talking about Samford and what they did and whatnot, and and maybe South Carolina's not playing that day, maybe LSU was not playing that day. If y'all could please still watch it, that would be fantastic. Because the whole point of this channel, even if this channel never really goes anywhere, even if I like do this for forever, which I'm actually very happy with, the whole point of this channel is to grow the game of women's basketball. What I want to do is to build this thing up so much that the powers that be on ESPN, CBS Sports, TNT, and the like, those people will see this channel and they would be like, whoa, there's an audience of 20,000 people every day that's watching a recap about women's college basketball, right? We need to make that, and let them make it. And I will happily step aside. I will happily step aside if we can get the powers that be at these actual networks with the resources and whatnot. If we can get them to actually take women's basketball serious and really, really invest in it with some sort of daily thing, not podcast. I'm not a podcast person. Video. If we can get them to do that, I wouldn't do these. The only reason I'm doing these is because I don't see anything out there. I really don't. I don't see anything. And if there is, please tell me, because I will stop making these daily videos. I'm making them because I feel like we need it. And I feel like if I do this long enough, somebody at ESPN will take this idea and they will do it. And they will make it way better than I could ever make this thing. And I'm happy with that. Like that's what I want. Because I want to watch that. I want to watch that. I want to watch someone, like I want to watch a breakdown of the previous day's games. Like how they do with the NBA and NFL and MLB. Like though they have that. There is nothing for women's basketball. There is nothing for women's sports at all that does something like that, right? And the hope is if we create it here, show the powers that be that we can be consistent at watching this thing and engaging with it, then maybe they'll do it. And then we can say job well done and watch that. That's the hope. But that only can happen if you all still watch the videos, support, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, tell people about the channel, because I'm not always going to cover the top 25 teams. It is way more to women's basketball than just UConn, LSU, South Carolina, and in Tennessee. Like there's way more out there, guys. Way more. way more. Guys, earlier today I was watching Mississippi it was the HBCU. What's their name? Mississippi State Valley, or I can't remember. I can't remember the way to say it. But I was watching them play before I like hopped on. I be watching random games. I don't think there's any top 25 games on today. But I've been watching games today. And I'm gonna have a recap tomorrow, and I'm gonna talk about games that y'all wasn't checking for. Okay? I'm gonna be talking about games y'all not checking for. I'm gonna be talking about the fact that BYU is destroying Idaho. I'm gonna give y'all a recap about that game because y'all need to know what's happening. For everybody, not just the big teams. But the hope is if y'all could, please watch the games. Please watch the recap videos, even if I cover a team that you don't actually care for, because it's all about women's basketball. It's all about growing the game of women's basketball. All right. Yeah, Mississippi Valley State. There we go. Yeah, they were playing it earlier on ESPN Plus, and I was watching it. So yeah. All right. Well, that was my rant. Miracle, thank you so much for the super chat. Says appreciate you and your content. Howdy from Texas. Hook 'em horns. All right. Texas fan. Y'all, Texas is gonna be good. Y'all probably know this. I feel like I've talked about it before. I am a gigantic Rory Harmon fan. Rory Harmon at Texas is. I would like her to eventually play for the Chicago Sky. Eventually, because I want a Rory Harmon jersey, and the only way I'm probably gonna buy it is if she plays for Chicago. All right. Manola Origin says, Quita, so you saying you will basically make your channel into a women's basketball sports center? Honestly, that's the ultimate goal. Like, that's the ultimate goal. Yes, it is. It is the ultimate goal. I want this channel to basically be the women's basketball version of ESPN. Not with the takes and not with the the specific stuff that they do that's a little bit, whatever. But you can't deny that when you want an update about sports, about the NBA, you want to know, like LeBron just scored, whatever amount of points, or Bronny James just scored his first couple points. Where do you go? You go to ESPN. I want this channel to be that for women's basketball. When you see a player like I don't know, pick a player. Let's say like a Tahina Pow drops 30 in a game. You want someone to talk about that, right? You want to hear some analysis about that? Like, I want people to turn to this channel or to see highlights or like whatever. And I'm not the best at like video, so I try my best for like video quality and putting highlights in the videos and whatnot, but that does take a while. Eventually it's to build up to that eventually. So then someone else can actually do it. Some other channel network can actually do it, and I could just stop doing it. Because if there was a sports center for women's basketball, I wouldn't be doing daily recaps. Wouldn't be doing it. Rasa says, hey, Quita, can you have a schedule of the video so we know when to clock in? So here's the schedule as of now. As of now, here's the schedule. Every single morning, I will put out well, unless something terrible happens, which hopefully nothing terrible happens. you should be able to rely on me to put out a video every single morning by, I would say, like 9 a.m. Central Time. That is recapping the previous day's games. Okay, so you can count on that every single day by 9 a.m. You can count on that. That is going to be the one video that y'all are going to be able to count on every single day. Now, there's a lot of other stuff happening, right? China just started one of their preseason tournaments. I want to cover that. I'm going to cover that, right? I'm going to be putting out videos about that, about what Kennedy Carter is doing, about what Nalissa Smith and others are doing in China, right? I am going, so I'm gonna cover EuroLeague and whatnot, but those videos will be sporadic based on my availability. But the one thing you'll be able to rely on every single day, recap of the previous day's games, every morning. And then on Wednesdays, I think we'll probably do these consistently midweek check-ins just to see how everything is going. All right? Okay. Appreciate you, Road2, for the super chat. Says, Quita, you are that for me. If you haven't reported on it, I know it's not factual. I appreciate the support. I really do. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you. But yeah, that's the goal. Daily videos every single morning, and a Wednesday recap. All right. Vibe says, could you please give us 24 hours? I can't focus, overstimulated with this election and my favorite YouTuber. See, the positives about me just primarily being a women's basketball watcher, is that I don't have why a lot of people have been like stressed out and all this other stuff. I've been like, okay, what games I'm about to watch? What 4 games am I gonna put on my multi-screen? That's what I'm worried about. Oh man. But let if y'all need a distraction from all the stuff that's happening or whatever, in the world and the country and the whatever, come over here, rock out with me. I'll distract y'all with all things women's basketball. If that's what y'all want, I will distract y'all. All right. Again, share my daily morning videos with other people if you could. Also, if y'all have suggestions about I think I may ask for suggestions around titles and thumbnails and whatnot. I'm trying to figure out what combination of stuff works for these daily videos to sort of capture people's attention and get them to click. Because a part of the whole YouTuber thing, you want people to click on your stuff. You want your views to sort of increase. That's sort of a thing where it's sort of okay, well, what is going to make people click on something? So it's sometimes I name stuff certain things to try to get people to kind of click a little bit. For example, earlier today, I put out the Hailey Van Lith video, and I knew that of all the people I was talking about, even though I talked about Jelani Cambridge and what she did and the fantastic game that she had and whatnot, I know a lot of people wouldn't recognize that name. And so I was like, okay, well maybe I'll need to lead with Hailey Van Lith and see if people will watch it, and then they learn about Jelani Cambridge and they're like, oh man, this girl's fire, that type of thing. Yeah. So even though the titles may only focus on 1 or maybe 2 players, it does focus on a lot of teams and a lot of games. So always make sure to click on those if you could. Anyway, I'm rambling. I gotta go. I will see y'all tomorrow, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a fantastic night. Be kind to each other. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of people that are really upset. There's a lot of people who are really happy. There's a lot of stuff happening. But take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to other people. be kind. Be kind, be kind, be kind, be respectful. And guys, long live women's basketball. Guys, I love you, but most importantly, Jesus loves you and he wants to have a relationship with you. Guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. See y'all tomorrow for another episode of Daily Recaps. Talk to y'all soon, and bye-bye.